Welcome into the Daily Dish. Happy Monday. And we took a little time to wait on today's Daily Dish because we knew we'd get some breaking news. And here it is, three-star wide receiver out of Florida, Inlet Grove down in West Palm Beach. Teremun Lott goes by TJ Lott, commits to Illinois. No other Power 5 offers, but 24/7 Sports has him as a mid-tier three-star prospect. Joey Wagner, what do you think about TJ Lott to Illinois? What are they getting in this guy?
Speed. They're getting speed, man, and you can't have enough of it. I thought you nailed it, Jeremy, in your stories as you kind of covered this recruitment for the last, however long it's been. Does he have enough speed to play in the slot in the eyes of a lot of Power 5 schools? I don't know. Is he tall enough to play on the outside with that speed for a lot of Power 5 schools? I don't know. But I think if you look at what Barry Lunny Jr. has done, he finds a way. And I think you're going to see it this year, obviously, right, with Isaiah Williams. But he finds a way to creatively get the ball in the hands of guys who can do things and have speed and utilize their talents in that way. Will it work out? Jeremy, we're not going to know for like 2 or 3 years. Let's just be honest. And that's not necessarily a straight up because it's TJ Lott. That's what football is. You don't know a lot about football players for the most part. There are obviously the 5-star exceptions or even other exceptions, but sometimes in an ideal world, it takes time to know about some of these guys. So it'll take time, but he's got speed.
Yeah, and he's got a little size with it, right? Like he's 6 foot, 170, going to add some strength. Probably a guy who can play at 185 eventually. So Brett Bielema has always talked about, Joey, this is going to be a development program. And for people who follow recruiting, it can be a bit of a long game because you got to figure out, is he going to be Sidney Brown? Is he going to be somebody that 3 years later we look at and go, wow, what an evaluation, what a development? Or is it going to be a guy who transfers after year? I don't know. I don't know those answers right now. So you didn't get Frederick Moore. He's not coming to Illinois most likely unless there's a surprise here. Illinois made his top 5. They're up there with Michigan and Michigan State here, but probably not going to get him because you took TJ Lott here. Illinois needs to win more of those battles, need to get more headliners, but they also, to go up in the Big Ten, it's hard to beat Michigan right now with where Illinois is at. It's hard to beat Cincinnati if you're going up against Malik Elzy. Now, Illinois needs to start winning more of those recruitments. We've seen teams like Rutgers be able to do that, but you also have to evaluate and develop well. And Illinois pushed hard to get TJ Lott, felt like they wanted to close on him rather than go into the fall. So I think that says something about what they feel. Brett Bielema has a good history of it, but to be honest with you, we'll see in a couple years. But this isn't a kid that I think a lot of people are going to be, yeah, let's go out over. And it's no offense to TJ, because TJ, I just talked with him, seems like an awesome kid, really fast, really talented, but he's going to probably take some time to develop. I think for Illinois fans to get into this class, you're going to have to land an Elzy. You're going to have to land a Jair Hill. But it's really difficult to do that, Joey, when you have the history of Illinois going up against the recent history of Cincinnati, recent history of Michigan. So while I don't think Illinois is out of the race for especially Jair Hill, it's difficult to win those. And that's why coming into the month, you get some good vibes early on in the official visit. It's different to close. Like closing on those prospects is really hard, which is why I thought Jamarion Harkless was such a big addition. Why I thought Caden Fagan, getting him early, was such a big addition. But until Illinois proves it consistently, they are struggling to get those top guys. But I still think there's a solid foundation. They've addressed a lot of needs this month. I mean, 10 commitments this month addresses a lot of needs. And I think the staff does get a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, maybe because we haven't had a long history of them here at Illinois, but Bielema has had success. I think Kevin Kane and Bart Miller have done really good jobs at their position. I think George McDonald deserves some benefit of the doubt at wide receiver, given what he did at NC State and given who he recruited last year. So I know Illinois fans fairly might want more, especially when they see what's happening with like a Rutgers kind of program. But I don't think we can evaluate it 3 or 4 years. I'm not trying to defend anything or all of that, but I think TJ Lott could be effective. It's just going to depend on the evaluation and the development.
Yeah, it's going to take time. And to win some of these battles that you're talking about coincides with what you do on Saturdays in the fall. I mean, that's just the reality. You've got to win battles. It helps to win games. and then let the rest of your sell, your pitch, your personality, everything else resonate and show that you're a program. And look, Brett Bielema has had 1 year to do that. That's something that you've got to start taking that step forward. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think this class, Jeremy, is good in the sense that you see some guys who, you see the floor pretty high there, right, on some of these guys they've taken. And then you mix it in with some of the guys that are going to develop. I thought we saw that last year too, especially we can look at the wide receiver room. We think Sean Miller's a guy who could play early. We think Hank Beatty's a guy who could play early. We think Ashton Hollins, we think maybe Ian Pugh are going to need time to physically develop. That's a good balance, in my opinion, to understand the long term, the short term, the near term, all of that. And maybe that's what we'll see in this class, but it's just, it takes time on some of these guys.
We'll cover it all, where Illinois goes next in the class of 2023, right here on Illini Inquirer.